Let me share with you something that the majority of people desperately avoid confronting. Happiness is not a spontaneous occurrence. It is not a spontaneous occurrence. It is not a stroke of fortune. It is not determined by the balance of your savings account, the state of the weather, or the manner in which others choose to treat you. Happiness is a deliberate discipline. It is a choice, a daily war that you must wage with intent and construct it, brick by painstaking brick, in the pitch black of your most difficult hours. You desire joy? Then forge it yourself in the moments when the world insists you have no right to possess it. That is genuine power. That is resilience in its truest form. That is the distinction between those who remain average and those who become truly unstoppable. You require no one's permission to be happy. You require no perfect set of circumstances. What you require is discovered lying in wait somewhere. It is built from the ground up. It is not a buried treasure you stumble upon while wandering without direction through the wilderness of life. It is not a magical state of feeling that materializes when conditions align perfectly, when sunshine floods your surroundings and others heap praise upon your name. It is not bestowed by other people, nor is it assigned by fate. Happiness is forged brick by brick, step by deliberate step, grows haughty by presses in from all directions. As it most certainly will, your habits will speak with far greater authority than your motivation ever could. And your habits are constructed not by what you wish for, but by what you practice. Far too many people wait until they feel good before they commit to doing good. That is weakness wearing the convincing disguise of logic. You do not sit and wait to be inspired. You move forward with discipline, and inspiration has no choice but prevail in life. Do not prevail because their circumstances were kind. They prevail because they made the daily, relentless decision to push themselves forward. They decided each and every day to align their emotions with their mission rather than their misery. You are not granted the option of excusing yourself from this. If you genuinely want happiness, then demand it from yourself with the same ferocity you would demand it from anything else. Set the tone for your own life. Establish your own standard of excellence. You do not allow yourself to be diverted by chaos and drama. You do not retreat to a place of hiding because of delays and setbacks. You continue building even when absolutely nothing in your surrounding environment appears to be functioning as it should. You keep building even when your body has grown weary and your spirit has fallen low. You keep building because your purpose is not simply to survive the hours of the day. Your purpose is to conquer them entirely. Their emotional state dictates their choices and actions. Their fears shape the very words they choose to speak, and the way they feel on any given morning determines the entire trajectory of their future. But not you, not from this moment forward. You are no longer permitted to say that you simply do not feel like rising to the occasion. When your life's mission hangs in the balance, you do not get to shrink and hide when pressure materializes and demands something greater from you. Because pressure is opposite of whatever you happen to feel in that particular moment. You must train yourself consistently to lead from the very front of your own life, even when your legs are trembling beneath you. That is what authentic self-control genuinely looks like. That is the defining quality that separates those who remain perpetually weak from those who become completely unshakable. When your emotions are spinning completely out of control, it becomes your personal duty and your sacred responsibility to bring the chaos to a halt. If your emotions are the ones doing the leading, you will shatter when life grows unbearably heavy. But if your mindset is the one doing the leading, nothing that life manufactures can bend you out of shape permanently. People will test your patience and your resolve. Delays will press against you with their frustrating persistence. Loss will arrive and attempt to hollow you out from the inside, but you will remain centered and anchored at your core because your emotions are not the ones making your decisions. Then take command of your inner state. You desire peace, then become a vigilant guardian of your mind. You desire joy, then plant it deliberately in the rich soil of daily discipline. Put an end to casting blame on the world for how you feel in any given moment. Stop extending permission slips to other people that allow them to demolish your peace. Reclaim your authority over your own interior life. There will come moments when nothing in your world feels aligned or right. When fear shouts from every direction and doubt speaks in persistent, seductive whispers just at the edge of your awareness, those are the moments when you must speak with the most commanding voice you possess. Those are the moments when you lean directly into the resistance instead of retreating from it. Those are the moments when you do not simply endure and survive. You take command. Command your presence in the room. Command the thoughts that occupy your mind. The majority of people waste the pain and struggle that life sends their way. They complain loudly and with tremendous energy. They distribute blame to everyone and everything within reach. They retreat to the safety of small, protected lives. They ask with wounded confusion, "Why is this happening to me?" As if life has specifically and personally selected them for a unique punishment. But what they consistently fail to perceive is that adversity is never personal in its nature, required strength or skill. Joy, on the other hand, is pure discipline requiring tremendous inner resources. Any person with minimal effort can whine and express dissatisfaction with their circumstances. Any person can point fingers in multiple directions and construct elaborate explanations for why life is fundamentally unfair and should operate with greater generosity toward them. But those who achieve genuine, lasting transformation do not have the bandwidth for self-pity. Every single challenge that life places in your way is posing the same fundamental question: how strong are you genuinely willing to become through this experience? And each time you answer that question with joy, with decisive action, with disciplined commitment, you evolve into someone that adversity simply cannot overcome or defeat. There exists a particular kind of person that difficulty cannot handle or break down. A person who does not flinch when the blow lands. A person who does not stall when progress becomes agonizingly slow. This is not an exercise in maintaining a pleasant surface expression for the sake of how others perceive you. This is about developing a mind of such extraordinary power and resilience that you respond with purposeful intent to absolutely anything that life presents. That quality of strength is genuinely rare in this world. A mindset built to that specification does not complain about the weight it carries. It commands, it creates, it constructs the future one unbreakable brick at a time. Discipline is the architect of happiness. Most powerfully when life is at its most unbearable, when the world is disintegrating at the edges, when every legitimate and reasonable justification for quitting has presented itself, when the voice of your excuses rings louder and clearer than the voice of your ambitions, that is the precise moment when discipline transforms itself into the doorway through which peace must be entered. Not motivation that comes and goes like weather, not inspiration that flickers uncertainly in the wind. You do not become strong by pursuing what is easy and convenient. You do not discover lasting joy by engineering your life around the avoidance of discomfort. You become both strength and joy through the practice of confronting the difficult with an unwavering and absolute commitment that does not negotiate with weakness. Discipline means making the choice that is right over the choice that is comfortable. It means saying no with firmness and clarity when the world is extending a pleasurable invitation to indulge. Discipline is rising from bed and completing your training when no audience is present to witness or applaud it. It is choosing to study and build your mind while the rest of the world scrolls mindlessly through distractions. It is choosing what genuinely serves your growth over what merely provides momentary comfort. It is governing your words and your tongue when anger rises hot within you and demands expression. It is greeting each morning with clear and deliberate intention rather than drifting into the day by accident. The most powerful threat to your joy is not the pain that life inflicts upon you. It is the permission you grant yourself to remain exactly where you are and settle for average. The world will consistently encourage you to ease your standards, to extend yourself more grace, to embrace a softer approach to life's demands. But that softness, when it hardens into a defining pattern of your daily existence, eventually transforms around you. Discipline provides the structure that prevents collapse. When emotion rises like a fog and clouds your ability to think clearly, discipline cuts through it like a blade, cutting through darkness to restore your vision. It provides you with a reliable routine when nothing else in your environment can be depended upon. It gives you a stabilizing sense of structure and order precisely when everything else is falling to pieces around you. Nothing that exists outside of you carries the power to override the choices you make within you. No failure, however significant. No rejection, however painful. No criticism, however sharp. No loss, however devastating. None of it possesses the authority to dictate the quality of your thinking, the nature of your response, or the person you are in the process of becoming. Unless you willingly abandon it in the external world, it is always and without exception staged within the interior landscape of your mind, in the thoughts you choose to accept as true, in the meaning you assign to everything that happens, in the story you construct and retell yourself about the events that have unfolded in your life. Your interior world is the architect of your exterior world. The narrative you run on the inside governs the results you produce on the outside. If you fail to choose your internal state, your environment will move in and choose it on your behalf. If you fail to define your own mindset, your shifting mood will define it for you in ways you will not always appreciate. If you fail to lead your own life from the authority that lives within you, you will find yourself being dragged forward by forces that you will never be able to bring under control. No storm that arrives in your external life carries the right to plunder the stillness of your interior life. That path is demanding beyond easy description, but it is freedom in its most complete and uncompromising form. The kind of freedom that no other person has the power to gift you with, and that no force in the world has the power to confiscate. When you begin genuinely living in this way, everything in your life begins its transformation. Your immediate environment no longer needs to be perfect because you are actively becoming powerful. Every morning when your eyes open to the new day, you are either stepping forward into your hours with deliberate and unwavering intention, or you are sinking back into the familiar comfort of your excuses. There exists no neutral ground between these two positions. The very first thoughts you entertain upon waking begin determining the entire emotional and practical tone of everything that follows that interior voice. Whether it speaks with power or speaks with hesitation, sets the compass bearing of your day. Your morning hours are the arena where your most important daily competition is decided. That initial hour after waking determines whether you're exercising control over your day or surrendering control to it. If you do not claim it with intention and deliberateness, it will claim you. The people who rise into each morning with unshakable intention are not a separate and fortunate category of human being facing a different and lighter set of challenges. They still know exhaustion in their bodies. They still carry fear about what lies ahead. If your mornings begin with the reluctant dragging of yourself from bed, with an immediate reach for the noise and stimulation of notifications, with a passive and unfocused absorption of whatever the world has decided to broadcast in your direction, then do not be surprised when the hours that follow feel chaotic, disorienting, and heavy with the weight of things outside your control. You have already surrendered the direction of your day to things that do not serve your purpose or your growth. You do not require an emotionally favorable feeling before you begin. You do not require a perfect configuration of external conditions. You require one thing only, and that is the decision made with full ownership and commitment. And that decision must be renewed every single morning, without exception or special condition. No other person will make it for you or hold it in trust on your behalf. No other force will compel your growth or stand guard against the temptation to remain average. That responsibility belongs entirely to you.